You were listening to a Nerd Room podcast, a member of the Star Wars Commonwealth Podcast Network. Be sure to check out more from the Star Wars Commonwealth on the web at starwarscommonwealth.com and take your first steps into a larger world.
Hello and welcome to the Nerd Room. This is episode 128. Here on today's show, we talk everything Marvel, DC, and Star Wars. As you can tell, our main man, Tim, is not here.
He's the one in charge of the intros.
He's on vacation, but man, we got a jam-packed episode here. We're talking San Diego Comic-Con 2018.
Yeah. Oh, man. San Diego Comic-Con is the mecca for nerds. It is. I was there last year. Let me tell you, I had such a good time. I didn't get tickets this year. I'm hoping to go back for next year. But I was glued to my phone, glued to my TV, checking updates. What was your level of interest this year?
Always massive,
yeah.
As always, man. You know, for me, it's always about the comic books, but the collectibles comes right afterwards. So, man, plenty of stuff to talk about there, from the trailers, from the collectibles, from the books, obviously, everything. It's actually so massive, guys, that we're going to break this episode down into two parts, because me and Sunjay are going to cover the first half, and then Tim going to be joined by two special guests next week covering the second half.
It's kind of like Infinity Wars, part 1 and part 2. At the end, I'll be like, Troy, I don't feel so good. Just slowly disappear into the leaves.
But unfortunately, guys, you know, we do have to take this show to another place right now. Over last week, July 19th, on Thursday, one of the biggest sweaties of them all, such a great person, the late, great John Schnepp, passed away, unfortunately. And we're going to cover this, and we're just going to talk about it a little briefly here, because this guy's so big in our community, and I've been following this guy for years. He's been such a big voice in my home. I tune into this guy every Wednesday and all the time on his movie talk. And we're just going to roughly talk about this guy and what he meant to us going forward and in the past. And man, it's such a shame that we lost this guy.
Yeah, total shock, total surprise, just at a loss for words, to be honest with you. I mean, we podcast, and you know, he does that, or he did that, and you know, he had a show, Collider Heroes,
right.
And after we would podcast, we would just sit, you know, before our cars, before we drove home, just talking about, like, you know, Schnepp and like all the people in Collider, and John Campia, and all those people. And Schnepp was kind of like the guy that, like, whenever there was a movie review, you know, he would be like the one guy that would always, like, you'd always listen to his opinion, you know, because he's the king of sweaties. And you know, his movie reviews, he was always honest. He was so passionate. And the thing that, you know, is like sad, like, obviously goes without saying, like, his family lost a tremendous man. But the thing that, like, really got to me is, you know, this is the man who, when you watch Collider, he'd always say, you know, what a time to be alive. Like, he was so thankful that he grew up, and, you know, when he grew up, he'd get maybe one comic book movie in theaters a decade.
Yeah.
You know, like, it was just not a thing. And he would always say, like, how thankful he was that he could go look in the theater, and, you know, 12 months a year, there's going to be a comic book movie nowadays. And he was just so thankful. And, you know, it's just such a shame that some of the movies, like, we talk about Comic-Con, it's just not the same. Like, I wanted to hear what his opinion would have been on this Aquaman trailer, what his opinion would have been on Shazam. He would have been geeking out with us. And Infinity War Part 2, like, it's just a shame that he'll never get to see that movie.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there'll never be another like him. And in case you guys out there, if you're not too familiar with Schnepp, I mean, this guy's in all of our comic DNA. He's done the stuff with the Marvel motion graphic comics back in the day, Black Panther. He directed a couple of those episodes.
Oh, wow.
He's done the series Metalocalypse out there, and obviously he gave us the great documentary, The Death of Superman Lives, What Happened.
Love it.
You know, so this guy's always been around. He's a big time comic guy, and do yourself a favor after this podcast, guys. Be sure to check him out, because he'll be greatly missed. I've always tuned into this guy's stuff, and I really just love his advice and his knowledge of books and comics and life, his philosophy. Everything was just so great about this man. And man, it hit hard. You know, I haven't felt this way in a while, since I'm a big Michael Jackson guy, and since Michael passed, I haven't really felt this way, and it really hit home, losing this guy. And it's going to be a voice missed, you know, that I won't be hearing anymore. And I really, you know, thoughts and prayers go out there to the family. And man, it's just it's extremely sad. But we'd like to take a time here just to do a moment of silence right, guys. Well, to rock this rest of this episode off, I mean, we went from John Schnepp, king of the sweaties, king of the nerds, king of fandom. I'm going to jump right into fandom. Going into 2018 San Diego Comic-Con.
Let's do it. Let's jump right in.
Let's do this, man. So, like we always do here at the Nerd Room, we do our week in nerd or week in collecting. Sunjay, what have you been up to, man?
My weekend collecting, I just picked up the Ready Player One Steelbook. I know we were talking about that movie before this episode. Just what a great movie it was. And, I'm confused. I don't know why this movie didn't crush it at the box office, to be honest with you. But, for me personally, it's my favorite movie so far, 2018. I absolutely love it. So I picked up that. Also got a couple other Steelbooks. But, just comic book wise, really looking forward to tomorrow. But I guess if you're listening to this, it's Thursday, so yesterday. Justice League Dark, issue number 1 comes out. So brand new series, Justice League Dark. There were some rumors about a movie coming out. It doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon. But check it out. It was one of my favorite series of the New 52 launch.
Darkman was in there, right?
Yeah. I don't think he's in this one.
Or Deadman, sorry.
Deadman, yeah. I think Darkman's like that old movie from Sam Raimi.
Yeah. Not to be confused.
Yeah, so I think Swamp Thing, I think Zatanna, Wonder Woman, Detective Chimp.
Yeah.
So quite a diverse lineup.
And of course, the Hellblazer. Constantine.
Oh, Constantine, absolutely. Yeah,
right?
yeah. We all remember the Keanu Reeves film.
Or we don't. The actor that portrayed him on this show, I think only lasted 1 season on the CW. Yeah. He's pretty dope.
Yeah.
He's good. Obviously, they like him because he's voiced acted the movie for Justice League Dark, the cartoon one.
Yeah.
And he's been on like a couple episodes of Arrow and League of Tomorrow.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
So I mean, really like him.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pick up that TV series because he's a character that's really cool. So I really hope they give him another shot at a movie.
Yeah.
Do him right because he's not American. So that's the first mistake.
That's right. You got to keep that English accent down.
Yeah.
That's right. What else, man? Anything else?
That's it for me. How about you? I mean, we're recording at your house because we tried to break into Tim's house, but we couldn't get in. So we're recording here, and you've updated. You got a lot of new stuff here.
Yeah, man. I'm working on that Nerd Room follow-up here. Peak the Nerd Room. Basically, man, I got my Hot Toys going on here with Anakin. And I've added a couple more Marvel Legends shelves. I'm an idiot because I told you guys out there this time last year, a little bit earlier probably, that once I get my Hot Toy, I'm giving up on the Marvel Legends.
Yeah.
But these Marvel Legends have been ridiculous. They've been so good. It's been hard to keep my hands off. I picked myself up a Doc Ock, and I'm a Spidey guy. Like,
it's beautiful.
How can I refuse?
Right? You can. It's in your DNA. You just can't.
Absolutely, man. So I picked up Doc Ock. I've picked up... what else do I got here? I got a bunch of X-Men's. I got the 90s Jim Lee Wolverine. I got the Mohawk Storm. I got Magneto. Some of the best of the best X-Men, right? So, and I picked up the Iron Man Mark 7 armor from Avengers 1.
Okay.
They're doing a Marvel 10-year anniversary for the MCU.
Yeah.
But they brought that to a Marvel Legend toy form. So I picked up that guy. He's looking pretty fresh. And I picked up some books, man. I got X-Men Blue on trade. X-Men Blue 1, 2, and 3. And these are cool books. They've taken the old school X-Men team from way back in like the 60s that we know, and they've brought them back to current time.
Cool.
And Bendis did this already, and it's still the same team, but they've taken them into a better direction and kind of given them a little bit more of a modern tone with some really cool enemies. So I like what they're doing there. And I also picked up Vader 18.
Nice.
This book's cool. Everybody out there that's been listening, I've been trying to convince you for the longest time to pick up Charles Soule Vader, but Vader 18's dope. I've dubbed it the Tarkin test.
Ooh.
It's basically Vader and Tarkin going at it on this like survival kind of game, survival of the fittest. Man, it's freaking awesome. I love it. I finally picked up Batman 50 as well.
Oh, okay, yeah. I haven't read it yet. I have it, but I haven't read it. I'm so far behind. The only comic I'm like somewhat caught up in is Wonder Woman.
Okay, well, I'm dying to know what you think of Batman 50.
Okay.
Yeah, dying to know.
I'm like 10 issues behind on that, so
it
might be a while. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe an episode like 250. when Aquaman comes in theaters, we'll discuss it after.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Sounds good. We got plenty of Aquaman coming up later today. Of course, we're going to be talking about that. But moving right on, man, keeping it San Diego Comic-Con, what stood out to you, man?
Besides the trailers, 2 things. I'm going to go with the Aquaman action figures. So they released them, the DC, not Legends, I think they're called like the Multiverse line.
The Multiverse line, by Mattel.
Yeah, so we got Aquaman, Mira, Orm, Black Manta, we got the Trench, we got Vulko. So a lot of cool figures for that line, so I'm super pumped. I don't know when that's going to hit. And
must be close to December.
Oh, for
November,
sure. Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
And the other thing, I didn't really much comic news, but the other thing that struck me was felt like, something was missing this year. And I feel like Marvel skipping the event was not a nice decision. Was not, what I don't think it was in its best interest. Marvel's doing fine on their own. We all know you can count the money. Like, you need a Scrooge McDuck vault to count all the money Marvel's made.
So bad.
Yeah. Kevin Feige's swimming in one right now. But it's tradition to come to Comic-Con, and it's not like they didn't have anything coming up. They have Captain Marvel.
Yep.
And they have Infinity War Part 2.
That's right. And Homecoming. Well, I guess that's Sony's division.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, so, I was a little disappointed that we didn't get any MCU love this year.
It's a little weird, right? Not having a bit of Marvel there. I mean, yeah, they had the Star Wars presence, so I guess you could still say with the books. I think they announced some comics and whatnot. But I feel you, man. It's weird not having some Marvel love. I mean, at least if we can see like some concept art, like what they did last year when we got to see the scrolls and like the concept art for Brie Larson's Captain Marvel.
That's right, yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I do wish we got some of that, but at the same time, man, it was pretty refreshing to just have DC come in there and kick open the door.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was some good stuff. For me, I really love the DC action figures for the animated series Batman line.
Yeah, you have a bunch up here.
Yeah, man. I love these figures, and they've kind of been on a standstill for a while. Probably for the last 3-4 years. They've done like little doses, but dual packs. Yeah. I'm not really fond of those because they're pretty expensive. But they did release the Batman animated series Bat Bike with the Bat helmet.
Oh, man.
And it's pretty dope. We got a Harvey Dent as well, the classic Two-Face, which
looks
just supreme. And then they gave us the Scarecrow.
Oh,
Scarecrow looks dope, man. I posted it up on Twitter, so if you guys aren't caught up, go out there and check it out. But man, it looks so dope. You can't go wrong with those figures.
I used to have those figures like when they originally came out. I think they were like, I don't even know how big they were. They maybe like 4-inch or 5-inch.
4-inch, maybe 5, yeah.
Yeah, 5 on a good day. But they also announced that they're coming out with the complete series on Blu-ray.
I noticed that.
Yeah, so
which is huge.
I know. So I have it on DVD. And with the DC streaming service, it makes sense that they would come out with it on Blu-ray because it's on high definition. But it also includes Batman Mask of the Phantasm on Blu-ray.
That's massive. That's a great film, animated.
One of the best Batman films of all time.
One of the most underrated animated films of all time to hit the big screens.
That's right. I actually saw it in theaters.
Really?
Yeah. My mom took me because it was only there for like a week.
That's right. I heard horror stories about it. I remember everyone was like terrified of this movie, and I got it on VHS. Still have it, and it was just great. You got a bit of an origin story because this is. Well, I guess we already had Year One. Did we have Frank Miller's Year One at this point?
Yeah, because I think Year One was 80s, and so this was, think, 92, 93, I'd like to say.
Well, yeah, because I know we had... Because Year One came out... Frank Miller's Year One came out after Batman Dark Knight Returns. Mm-hmm. Right? Okay, so yeah, it must have been like 80s, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we do get a little bit of an origin story here of Bruce, and it was good, man. It was so cool. Still in that universe, obviously, of the Batman animated. So that's fantastic, man. We also got... going back to Hot Toys, Darth Vader Return of the Jedi Hot Toy.
Oh, okay.
Here, man. Like, we have the Empire Strikes Back one, I believe.
Yeah.
And I think there might be a Rogue One / Episode 4, but this guy here looks dope. Looks pretty mint. I'm going to get my hands on that guy for sure.
What's the difference?
The buttons.
Oh, okay.
The buttons,
they changed
and I think his belt is a little bit different too. But I've always been more of an Empire Strikes Back Vader. That's my Supremo right there.
That's your Vader?
That's my Vader, man. I'll take any Vader. I ain't picky.
Yeah.
I ain't picky. Another hot toy is the Spider-Man PS4 exclusive, only on PS4, obviously.
Yeah.
The hot toy is coming out too.
Okay.
This thing looks just crazy. Like, toys in general have just stepped up their games. From Mattel, from Hasbro to the Hot Toys Sideshow. These figures are just looking incredible. It's unreal what they're doing. But I'm leaning more and more towards that Hot Toys. So I don't know if I'm going to get the Spider-Man because I like my Spider-Man to look like the classic 616,
Right.
So I'm going to look at it.
Yeah.
Window shop, but I won't be buying that one.
You should be able to rent them.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Right? Because, you never look at it 24/7. There should be like a Hot Toy rentals place.
That'd be sweet. Like, hey, guys, I'm having a Hot Toys party. Come over. And I'm just renting these Hot Toys. I won't tell you guys I'm renting them. But,
right? Just be like, oh, this is my whole collection. Come take a look. And it's like the whole, like, Avengers all done up on Hot Toys. You're like, yeah, this is just, like, my regular, like, shelf.
That would be crazy. I've gone online and seen the displays of these hot toys.
Yeah.
These things are pretty pricey, man, and just seeing people do that. But I mean, you got to pick and choose too, right? I think as you go down the road, and you know this too, and so does Tim, as you collect longer, you really start to narrow your focus on what you want and what you don't want. At least most of us tend to do so. So that also helps when it comes to budgeting and whatnot, right?
Yeah, budgeting. That went out the window. San Diego Comic-Con. I think they have like a partnership with Visa.
Yeah.
Because every nerd just like puts it on platinum.
Put it on the card.
Yeah, just put it on the card. I'll worry about this next week.
Books. Did any books stand out to you?
To be honest with you, I didn't actually follow the comics that much.
Yeah.
I don't really know what's gonna come out. My comic reading has been dropping lately, so
yeah.
I got to get back into it. It's not like a zero right now. Like I still read occasionally.
Yeah.
It's just that work's taking up too much time, and
yeah.
the movies, man. I've been hitting those movies hard, so I got to find that balance. I got to get some more into readings. Yeah,
it happens. You find that point and you catch up, and it's so refreshing.
Yeah,
when you get to just dig in 10 issues deep back to back, man, it's awesome. But for books, we well, I mean, keeping it DC, I don't know if this was mentioned at Comic-Con or not, but we are getting an arc after the wedding of Batman.
Okay.
I believe it's called The Cold Days.
Oh, nice.
Mr. Freeze.
Mr.
Freeze is coming back in
Freeze.
the loop. Supposedly, Bruce Wayne has been called to jury duty.
Yeah, I heard that.
Right? So that's going to be an interesting story. I think Mr. Freeze is one of the baddest villains. Like, dope. I love this guy.
He is like one of my favorite villains. I talk about the animated series. The animated series took him from like a bumbling like Captain Cold knockoff into literally one of the most sympathetic, one of the best villains. Man, he is so cool. Like he is.
No pun intended.
In terms of like top 10 Batman villains, he's top 5 for me.
One day we gotta rank our top 10 Batman villains because between him and Spidey,
we should do that. One Batman, one Spidey.
Oh,
those are top 2 villains, rogues galleries.
Oh, for sure.
Who would you say 3?
I think the Flash is pretty good.
Flash is pretty good, yeah.
Flash, especially as of late. Fantastic Four, man.
Okay,
Galactus, the Skrulls. You could say Thanos was in there. You can even say Black Panther at one point.
Yeah.
I think the Fantastic Four have a great arsenal of villains.
Okay, I was gonna say X-Men.
Oh, of course.
Magneto, Juggernaut, Mr. Sinister, Sabretooth, Mystique. There's a reason why they've been putting out so many movies, right? Because they have the villains to do it.
That's a good call.
Yeah, that's a good call. And it's Marvel too, so I'm not even just like showing love to DC.
That's
here.
right.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Look at that.
Yeah.
Man. Well, yeah. So we're going off of the comic books then for the novels, and Tim and those guys are going to dig into it deep. But I just got to add my 2 cents here. We are getting Claudia Gray coming back to the helm of Star Wars novels. She's doing Masters and Apprentice. This woman is a fantastic writer. She did Lost Stars, which is one of my favorite novels, and then she also went on to go do Bloodlines, which just focuses core on Princess Leia.
Oh, nice.
Before episode 7, but quite some time after episode 6, so right in between there.
So episode 6.75.
Yeah, you can say that. I think what Lion King did.
Yeah, exactly. Lion King 1.5.
So yeah, she's coming back. I'm totally looking forward to that. This story is meant to take place in between the time of Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi before episode 1. So I love what they're doing here. We're going to get into it, but I really love that Disney is going back to the prequel era. I love the prequels in Star Wars, and we're getting a lot of high content going back there. We're getting lightsabers again. Like
I think actually, as that generation that grew up on the prequels as kids,
yes,
as they get older, there's that appreciation for the prequels.
For sure.
I think the people that compared, like, are they as good as the original trilogy? In my opinion, no. Mm-hmm. But that does not mean that they're crap.
Right.
And I think a lot of people made that distinction in error when they came out because they were older and like, this ain't my Star Wars. Yes. Whereas like we were younger, like I didn't watch the prequels, but I'm sure like you were younger, Tim was 100%. Younger. So when they watched them as kids, they're like, man, this is like my Star Wars. Like this shit is awesome. So, it's funny how it comes in cycles. Like for a while there, the prequels, like, you couldn't even say the word prequel. You get banned. You just go into a comic shop.
Like, get out.
Yeah, right? Like, what are you talking about? Hayden Christensen? Like, get out of here. Now we're showing him some love.
Yeah, he showed up at Celebration, man. A round of applause. I think he had a standing ovation. Maybe
he
not.
Deserved
maybe I'm
it.
just hyping it up.
I don't know. Maybe it was just you.
Probably was. I was standing up over my laptop, just clapping.
He's getting his coffee at Starbucks, and Troy's just there, giving him a standing ovation. He's like, "You're my man." take the higher grounds of the coffee.
Well, you know what? Going back to that comic I mentioned, the Tarkin test that I dubbed.
Yeah.
Tarkin calls out that high ground, which is kind of cool. So
yeah.
they're running with that joke. And then we also have another novel, which is cool. Going back to the prequel era, E.K. Johnson is doing a Padme book, and that's called, I believe, Shadow of the Queen Shadow. That's going to be pretty cool, man. E.K. Johnson also did the Ahsoka book a while back that me and Tim were raving about. So plenty of good Star Wars coming off. But man, going about Star Wars, we're jumping into the Clone Wars.
Yes.
Clone Wars has been saved. It's been saved. I love the Clone Wars.
Can I get a hallelujah?
Hallelujah, man.
So, okay. Oh, my goodness. Let's all take a moment here. And so we got the Clone Wars. So tell me about this series. Why is it? First off, it got canceled. Did it get canceled prematurely?
Yes.
So tell me about this. As someone who hasn't even watched the Clone Wars, like I haven't watched anything about the Clone Wars.
Right.
Fill me in as a noob.
Oh, Clone Wars is dope. It's Dave Filoni and George Lucas at the time with the original Clone Wars.
Okay.
Not to be mixed up with the animated series, because there was like a hand-drawn one.
Yeah.
This is like the 3D animated one. It takes place after Attack of the Clones, but before quite some time, episode 3. Anakin and Obi-Wan Kenobi, they're like military times now. There's like General Kenobi and Anakin's kicking ass, man. He has an apprentice named Ahsoka, aka Snips. We get a lot of intimate relationships with the clone troopers themselves, though. They're not so faceless. We get some in-depth stories about them, how Order 66 worked with them, how some of them even spotted Order 66 before it happened in episode 3, but the Order themselves kind of like, you know, just turned the head towards it and ignored the fact that, Palpatine's on the rise, man. But there's so many good storylines going on here. Even, I won't say good, but there's even some Jar Jar stuff in there that happens a little later on. But what's really cool and excites me is Dave Filoni is now going to be able to finally finish this chapter. He's going to finally put an end to it. It's going to lead up to the Ahsoka book that I just mentioned by E.K. Johnson. And it's great times, man. I'm so excited for this cartoon series to pick up. We don't know when it's coming out, but it is going to be exclusively on the Disney Stream.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sure it's going to get a lot of people's attention.
So the Disney Stream, is that available in Canada?
It better be. It better be, because obviously we're not getting the DC one yet.
Yeah. That's so disappointing.
Do you see the prices for it? $79 for the year, I believe.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's not too bad. I think it's like $7, $8.
Yeah, I think if you pay like per month, it's $8 a month, or like $72 a year.
Right.
So whatever.
Well, the cool thing with that, I mean, we can talk about that too. Basically, to Clone Wars, we're wrapping it up here, but we're finally gonna get a definitive ending to the Clone Wars. Anakin's back, Obi-Wan's back, Ahsoka's back. We're getting Rex. It's a great trailer. Check it out. And the other cool thing I want to quickly mention here too is that celebration. Dave Filoni gave us a clip before of Boba Fett having a final kind of showdown with a bounty hunter, my favorite, Cat Bane.
Oh, okay.
I feel like we're going to get an answer to what happened to Cat Bane finally, because a lot of people love Cat Bane, much like myself, and we've been wondering what happened to this bounty hunter. So I feel like they're probably going to include that in this season somehow. And man, all around, prequels are back, baby. Embrace it.
That's right. I mean, the prequels came before.
Yeah, exactly, man. Show some love. But yeah, going back to your DC stream there, man. What do you think of this? We're getting like motion comics now presented to us on television.
That's awesome.
I've heard people that have got to sample it actually watching on 4K comic books is like another level. Like they're noticing parts of the panel they never noticed before.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There's a narrative aspect that goes to it. You can time it. The cool thing too is your family. You can sit down there as a family and read these comics together.
Oh, I never even thought of that.
Groundbreaking.
That's amazing. Yeah, absolutely. So it's TV shows, movies, and now the comics.
Yeah.
And there's some exclusive content as well, and there's original TV series. So we got Teen Titans, which we saw the trailer for, Swamp Thing, a Harley Quinn animated series, and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
And then, some classic movies. So we got like Batman, Superman, Christopher Reeves, I think, is on there. Batman Returns. I mean, DC has been pumping out stuff since 1977 Superman, the movie. Even before then, Batman 66.
That's right, and Wonder Woman.
That's right, Linda Carter. So, I mean, there's so much content on there that they can definitely do it. And the thing that excites me is that, okay, so DC, Warner Brothers is going through with the stream. they obviously got to fill it with content. So we're just gonna get more and more DC content, and that's
Smallville,
only a good
baby.
thing. That's right. Smallville's coming like on this subscription service, but like we're gonna get more and more original content. So like it forces Warner Brothers to continue with their DC movies, and to continue because eventually you have to assume the whole DC extended universe is gonna be on there.
Well, not only just that, because that brings us to another thing: is DC World, the world of DC.
That's right.
Which is I think a brilliant move, but I don't think any of us suspected that. But that's a pretty cool twist on this whole DCEU, giving it a definitive name. I believe World of DC.
I heard that was just a rumor that
Shoot.
So they just like posted on the banner "Welcome to the Worlds of DC" for their panel, but I don't like it's I mean it sounds cool. Worlds of DC, awesome. Right?
Yeah,
I love it, but because that encompasses all the different multiverses and everything. Exactly. Maybe they'll go with it. There was some good traction for it. So.
I hope so, because that makes sense. When you're watching this new Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix, you're not thinking twice about trying to connect the dots. Mm-hmm. There has been some theories out there that this could be the origin story of the DCEU Joker.
Oh, okay.
And the one that we see in Suicide Squad is actually Jason Todd.
Oh, so okay.
Okay, that's kind of cool. That's kind of interesting. But if it's not the case, that's cool. Like, it doesn't have to all connect, and DC can really make that their niche. So.
Absolutely. And the thing that would be cool too is if you had this, I think it's called the Black Series or Black Label, with all these like spin-offs and one-off movies. If that thing becomes like a big hit, you can see some very interesting movies. Like DC is all about the Elseworld stories.
Yeah.
So there's no limits. There's nothing to worry about continuity. So in the future, we could get like a Superman Red Sun movie.
Oh my gosh, or Green Lantern Earth 1.
Right? Like, there's literally, like, you could do anything that's an Elseworld story, and also stuff that's, like, brand new, and not just comic book minds, like, comic book writers' minds, but also writers and directors in Hollywood.
That's
like,
right.
There's so much stuff you could do with an Elseworlds that, that's one thing that, like, they could have over the MCU is that MCU, everything has to be in continuity, so you could never do a story where Iron Man kills Captain America and the repercussions of that.
Right.
Whereas in DC Black Series, you could do Superman goes crazy in Injustice story and he kills Joker, or he kills Batman, and you could have like a war between them with where you don't have to worry about continuity. It's just a one-off story, and then boom, you're done. Move on to the next one.
And you know what I love about what you just said too is it's so, in the words of the late great John Schnepp, it's so sweaty. It's so nerdy, but it's cool because that's the fan base it's marketed towards. So they don't have to worry now about going over the audience's heads because the audience is paying for it now. We know what we're expecting or what we're getting. So give us all the comic book goods you can possibly give us.
And the good thing is too, these movies, the production budget is way less.
Exactly.
So I think this Joker movie that they're talking about is like a $50 million production budget.
I heard the rumor $56 million or something.
Yeah, and there's also talks Birds of Prey is going to be the 9th film in the DC Extended Universe. That production budget is $65 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's with Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie. It's an R-rated, low-budget Birds of Prey. So
I think she's co-producing too.
Yeah. So I mean, that's a good thing. DC, just keep giving us more content. Give it to me all. Give me everything.
Well, since we're still talking about the streaming, I was going to put this a little bit later, but we might as well talk about the Titans trailer. What do you think?
Okay. Yeah. The Titans trailer. So I'm not like a huge fan of the Titans. Like growing up, I never read the comics. I never watched the first cartoon series.
Oh, the original one. Okay.
Yeah, I never did catch that one, but I do watch the Teen Titans Go.
Hilarious.
I love it. I think it's a really good show. It's definitely aimed for a younger audience, and the movie's coming out this weekend. Great reviews. I think it's at like 100% right now on Rotten Tomatoes. It's so funny. Did you see the episode? I just watched it with my daughter where they go to like an 80s like band, BER, and they like play this song, and it's like just it's just amazing. They go like this Elseworlds, and it looks like something out of like the 80s. Like it's amazing. Like the show is so original, so much fun.
So original.
I love it. The jokes are hilarious. So people are like, "Oh, this Titans, it's, Robin says F Batman." And they're like, "Oh, it's too mature. It's too like, man, what about for the kids, man?" But we just gave you kids. You kids can watch Young Justice, which is something else that's coming on the streaming service.
Yeah.
So teens can watch Young Justice, young kids can watch Teen Titans Go, and adults can watch Titans. DC, they have something for everyone. So if you're like, "Oh, my kids can't watch Titans," then be like, show them Young Justice.
Then they shouldn't be.
Right?
They shouldn't be watching it.
Right? Not everything has to be geared towards kids.
Absolutely.
There's a lot. Sometimes stuff has to be geared towards adults as well.
I completely agree with you. My only criticism with the trailer, there's a couple things. It did feel a little fan-made-ish. Like the budget looks really low.
Yeah.
The cast looks great. I'm rooting for Robin, but that Robin, the Batman for me was like, get that out of here. It doesn't belong out of the mouth of Dick Grayson. You can give that to Damian, you can give that to Jason Todd.
Yeah.
But you can't put that in Tim Drake, and you can't put that in Dick Grayson. That just felt really off for me. It really threw me off. Apart from that, though, everything was pretty cool. The effects were a little iffy. I'm hoping we're gonna obviously grow this character into the Nightwing.
Yeah. Oh, that's the end game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I completely agree. As we were saying, like on Twitter, Titans there's so many characters, and you got to spend budget on costumes and special effects for like someone like Beast Boy.
Yeah.
You could spend your whole budget like on his transformations into animals, right? So, what we were saying is, why wouldn't they just do like a Robin solo?
Exactly.
Right, and then you just have it like kind of like a Smallville or like something like that, where it's just like, okay, he breaks up from Batman. And then he goes on. Or do you remember Birds of Prey on CW, the TV series?
Unfortunately.
But like the concept, like the first episode was the kid, I think it was the daughter of Batman and Catwoman.
That's right, which was Huntress.
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah.
And then so like the first episode you had them, and then they never made an appearance again. And then it's just like her story. Yeah. You could have done something like that for Robin, and maybe even throw in Batgirl.
Yeah, I would really love that. I'm hoping we could get some cool flashbacks of Robin. Like, if you, I guess this is taking it pretty dark here, but if you did some flashbacks of Robin growing up with Bruce, and just being totally turned off of what he was as a kid, going through all this stuff with Batman, because he'd be like 9, 10, 12, 11, 13,
right,
fighting with Batman, and he's away from that. He's older, but it's left him kind of morbid almost. But he's partnered up now. He has to now trust these new kids around him and go on these adventures. I guess that's one way of doing it. But I would like to see the show really kind of focus on Robin. One, because I'm obviously a Dick Grayson fan, but I'd like to see the core emphasis be on Robin, and then kind of have the other guys just be supporting.
I think so, because he's definitely the most famous, most popular.
For sure.
Definitely the most famous sidekick in comic book history.
Yeah, hands down.
He's such a great character. I definitely want to see, the Robin. There's talk of the Nightwing movie in the DC Extended Universe. Chris, I think McKay, who did the Lego Batman movie, is set to direct.
Yep.
Who knows when that'll come out? But Robin is just such a cool character. The Nightwing costume is awesome.
Yes.
He's the one character that's evolved in comic books and has stayed that way.
And that's what I love about him so much.
Right, right. And everyone remembers Robin, but then when Nightwing came out, they're like, oh, who's this badass? With the mullet and the blue suit and the bird on it.
Popped collar?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because really, they weren't aging characters, really. I mean, it's funny. In comics, we're going on a rant here. They did age characters to a point, I think like to the 80s, 70s, and then they stopped.
Yeah.
But Robin stayed where he did, and everybody else kind of went all over the place.
And hopefully we get it in Canada. I mean, I don't know what their plans are to release this internationally.
That's the other thing.
Because, here's the thing, Warner Brothers, DC, if you're listening. You have a ton of fans up in Canada, ton of fans down in Mexico, ton of fans around the globe. This thing, the United States is one market. I guarantee they could double subscriptions. I know, there is some issues. I know with Canada, stuff has to have percentage of Canadian content. Right. So if you're on the radio, X% has to be Canadian music. So that's why in Canada you hear a lot of Nickelback, Celine Dion, Avril Lavigne,
Drake all the
time.
Yeah,
Drake's always on. This is like the Drake channel. Right? So maybe that's the hang up, because nothing in the DC streaming service would be Canadian content.
No.
So maybe there would have to be something, maybe they could get away with it saying like, oh, we filmed some of this stuff in Canada, because some of the movies are filmed in Canada.
CW like crazy. Smallville,
right?
Arrow, all that stuff. It's Vancouver.
Right. So maybe they can get away. Maybe that's the holdup. I don't know what it is. There could be some legality issues, but definitely, if you are Canadian and you do want it, or if you're just on the States, just let them know.
Yeah.
Because if the voice is loud enough, then the demand's there. They're definitely going to pursue it.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll just put this on Netflix, and just Netflix will give them a cut, like Netflix Canada. Yeah, because it's gotta be something. Netflix Canada has just put on Suicide Squad, Batman v Superman's there.
Yep.
No Man of Steel for some reason.
It was there at one point, though.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure Man of Steel was there at one point.
Weird. Yeah. No Wonder Woman. No Justice League yet.
Well, Sunjay, you know what time it is.
Bat time.
Not bat time. Grabs time.
Oh, grabs time.
Grabs time. Sir
okay,
Grabs.
Okay. I've been practicing the Grabs theme song.
All right, let's hear if I have to cut it out or not.
Okay, Troy, drop that beat.
Boom.
Next week.
Well, Mr. Grabs, Sir Grabs. Unfortunately, Tim's not here, so he won't be able to answer this, but I'm sure he'll try and pick it up maybe next week or the following episode afterwards. But our boy Grabs over there, this is his question. All right, Grabs, here we go. I recently began reading Marvel's 80s comic G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero. I'm getting close to issue 21, which is one of the more famous issues due to it containing no dialogue. That's so cool.
Yeah.
The entire story is told with just the art. Okay.
Awesome.
So my question for the three this week, just myself and Sunjay, I guess for now, are there other comics that have not done this or that have done this?
Well, there's lots that have not done it.
Are there other comics out there that have done this? Which comics/artists are the best at telling stories with the art? Can you think of any clever ways of an artist that have told stories without the use of chat bubbles? And finally, if you had to pick one panel from any comic to represent the most iconic heroes, which would it be?
Oh man, that's a loaded question.
Grabs is so dope. Yo, his questions are just crazy.
If he was a Batman villain, he would be the Riddler. Because he'd always throwing out those questions.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Halloween costume idea, Grabs.
Hit us on Twitter with that one.
Yeah, if you go as the Riddler for Halloween, Grabs, I will send you a DVD copy of Batman Forever.
That's not bad.
Right? All right,
that's not bad. I can't say I'd dress up as Riddler for that one, but it's not bad.
I did, and it came out. I had like the green onesie spandex, rocking it, but like it was cold, so you had to wear like the winter jacket underneath.
Yeah, because our Halloween suck.
Yeah, it's freezing up.
So you gotta wear two costumes.
Yeah, you're always like the person, and then like the fat version of it. You're like, I was a fat Riddler because I had this bulky like winter jacket underneath.
So I'm like the Penguin and the Riddler.
Yeah, if they had a love child together, that's who I would be.
Well, Grabs, man, this question's dope. I really do like this, and I gotta say, well, I got Spider-Man. I always got Spider-Man going on. For a comic that had zero dialogue, I can't say the full issue ran this way, but half of it did, the beginning half. And this issue is Spider-Man 655, Amazing Spider-Man. Basically, this is the run that started Spider-Man on the quest of no one dies. Nobody dies. And what happened is that in the issue prior, Marla Jameson, J. Jonah Jameson's wife, was killed by Alistair Smythe. If you guys remember the 90s cartoon, Alistair Smythe.
Yeah.
He is back, and he, I believe it's him, he killed Marla, and it's huge, it's devastating. Spider-Man feels it in the worst way, and this comic opens up right off the bat. You open this book, and it's like in memorial or in memory of Marla Jameson. So the tone's set. It's a black panel. You're like, oh man. You open up the next page. J. Jonah Jameson is just getting out of bed. There is zero dialogue anywhere. The art is awesome. The art, Marcos Martin.
Okay, so
the book opens up. J. Jonah Jameson's just getting out of bed. He looks depressed. He looks sad. He looks run down. He goes off into wherever to get ready. He's getting ready for the funeral. Next page opens up. It's Peter Parker doing the same thing. I think he's just coming out of his Spider-Man gear to now go into like some other clothing in mourning. And it goes to the rest of the Spider-Man family and cast, and everyone's just down on their luck. It's not a good look, and they're getting ready for this funeral. And this is like 4 or 5 pages in. There's zero dialogue. Everything is in the face. Everything's in the art. Now, Martin's art is very reminiscent of like a 60s kind of style. It's so cool, but the color is also fresh. This book is awesome. Pick it up if you can find it. Spider-Man 655. But eventually, you don't get your first taste of dialogue until Spidey calls it a day, goes to bed after the funeral, and he goes into like a dream sequence of Uncle Ben. And obviously Uncle Ben leads him through this whole journey to pick yourself back up again. Spider-Man sees all the people that he's let down. From Gwen Stacy to now Marla to Ben Reilly, his clone brother, basically. Or just his clone, but he's like a brother. So he goes through all that stuff, and it's at the end of this issue, he declares no one dies on his watch anymore. He's not going to allow it. And it's cool. He goes on this big run to just like protect everybody at all costs. Eventually, you go to about 50 issues down the road, and Spider-Man is now becoming to Superior Spider-Man, and that's a whole other ball game where Superior Spider-Man's killing foes.
Is he branding him with like a spider symbol?
No, he doesn't take it to that extreme, but he has a gun in an issue.
Really?
Yeah, but Grabs, I love that question. And the other one for panels, iconic panels for me, there's two. For one, it's Spider-Man on Homecoming did this when Spider-Man is when he's lifting up the whole science lab.
Oh,
it's underwater,
yeah.
and he uses all of his strength to save Aunt May. He has to get her that medicine.
Yeah.
And that's so powerful. And then they do it again in Homecoming, and it's key. It's one of the essential moments. Or Spider-Man, it's the cover where it's like Spider-Man no more, and his back's turned in the alley, his suit's in the dumpster.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. Another one that you can probably vibe with is the first time I read. There is chat bubbles in this one, but it's Court of Owls, Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder's Batman run. Court of Owls, when Batman's piecing together what the heck's going on when he's in the Court of Owls lair, and you're reading this book and you're so engulfed by the book, and the next thing you know, you're turning the book sideways to keep up with what's going on.
Yeah.
And then when you finally realize what's going on, you've actually just turned the book upside down and you're reading. I guarantee anybody the first read will do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's so well done. It's fantastic. It's one of the best Batman books out there, and there's a lot out there.
Yeah.
But man, that for me, all of that right there is just phenomenal, man.
Nice pulls. Well, the no bubbles, there's two I can think of. One is the Batman recent issue. I think it was Batman and Robin, death of Damian Wayne. Batman's son dies, and the whole issue is no speech bubbles.
Is that the Grant Morrison run when he died?
Yeah.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah, so there's that one. And the other one is Death of Superman, where he's fighting Doomsday. Now, I think there is a couple speech bubbles, but eventually the art, each page, the art gets bigger and bigger until you're nothing but splash pages. And it's just Superman and Doomsday beating the crap out of each other. No words exchanged. It's just beautiful art. It's fantastic. In terms of like panels that are iconic, like there's so many you can go with. I'm gonna go with a couple. Bane when he's breaking Batman's back.
Absolutely.
That is 100% the Bane picture, the Bane pose, if you will.
Oh yeah.
The backbreaker. The one with Superman. Now this one has thought bubbles in it or speech bubbles, but it's a couple. You might have seen it online. It's this woman, this girl, and she's gonna jump off a building and commit suicide, and Superman flies up to her and is saying, like, your psychiatrist really was late in traffic. Sometimes these things happen. Doesn't mean that she doesn't love you. You're so much stronger than you really are. And then, like, Superman gives her a hug and, like, wraps his cape around her. And that, that's Superman to me.
That's powerful.
That is such a great image, such a great story. So that's Superman. That's the Superman image I always think of when I think of Superman. And Batman, I got to give a Batman image. There's so many. Like, Batman's just so iconic. Probably just anything drawn by Jim Lee with Batman is amazing.
Yeah, Batman standing on the gargoyle,
right?
And then you have Superman across Metropolis, and they're doing the same pose.
Yeah, that's key right there. Just some of the other like iconic images. Like I'm trying to think of like some movies with like Batman in it because he's been in so many. I'm trying to think of like something from the Christopher Nolan series.
Well, Dark Knight when Batman's standing on the tower.
Yeah.
Is it Dark? Yeah, it's. Or actually, no, your movie, BVS, Batman versus Superman, when Batman's standing, and it's like the very Batman Dark Knight Returns kind of look with does he have the gun? The shotgun? It's in Dark Knight Returns. He has the shotgun.
He has like the it's a scope, like a sniper's rifle. But he's like homing beacon, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh man, I love that. Or the scene in Justice League which they cut, where he's standing on the gargoyle and the lightning goes.
Yeah, they did cut that one, didn't they?
Jerks.
Yeah, that's crazy. Another comic one, of course, is the death of Gwen Stacy when Spider-Man's holding Gwen. He lost. Like that's huge. Massive.
Yeah. Or you're talking about Venom when you have like the symbiote coming off Eddie Brock. There's like some of those panels.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. When what do you call it? Todd McFarlane was doing.
Anything Todd McFarlane.
Crazy.
With the web shooters of Spider-Man.
Yeah, or the famous cover of Spider-Man.
That's right.
300 or 400, where he's like covered in webs and the spiders are kind of on him.
Yeah. Oh man, so sick.
Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah. Man, there's so many great artists. I'm trying to think of like some panels. Like I'm thinking of The Killing Joke with
Joker's hair.
When it's like ha ha ha, and he's like that moment when he flips from being like a regular guy to being the Joker.
Yes.
It's just so iconic, and it's just like his hands on his like head. I mean, the villains get a lot of great splash pages, like a lot of great panels.
Do they ever? I mean, speaking of splash pages, obviously this one here I'll do for Tim right off the bat is Captain America and Iron Man pairing off in Civil War.
Yeah.
You have the shield against the unibeams. Like,
yeah, they even did that in the movie.
And they did it in the movie, and that came out in 2005, and it's already 2005 is kind of long ago, but not that long ago compared to everything we've mentioned.
Yeah,
and that's already had its place on film on the big screen.
Man, that's crazy. I love when you're watching a movie and just like they ripped it from the panels onto the screen.
Yes.
We're gonna be talking about this Aquaman trailer coming up, and there's so many stuff from there.
Oh my God. Is there ever? Well, actually, sorry. Before we get to the Aquaman trailer, I did have one more for grabs. This is my last one. It just came to the top of my head. Right. Speaking of Civil War, this is just before Civil War, and Spider-Man's moved into Tony Stark's Avengers Tower.
Yeah.
So he's living there, and I think Peter Parker. So Spider-Man's not in the costume. It's just Peter Parker, and he's walking with Mary Jane. And I don't think there's even any dialogue except for the fact that Wolverine happens to be there. Mm-hmm. And Wolverine, he's pretty rugged, and he says something to Mary Jane, something that's kind of like making his move a little bit on Mary Jane.
Oh, okay.
And the panel is great because you see Wolverine kind of like say something, and then there's no dialogue, and you just see Peter Parker's hand move, and Wolverine's gone. And then you look at the window, and Wolverine's been knocked out the window. And it's so cool to show the strength of Peter Parker and how he holds back, and that he's that strong that he can just knock Wolverine out the window effortlessly.
Yeah.
It's such a great panel. I don't think there's much dialogue there, so that's a cool one to look out for in Amazing Spider-Man.
Awesome, yeah.
So, man, from Amazing to Aquaman.
Let's do it. Was Aquamazing.
Aquamazing. I love that.
Oh, bro, Jason Momoa. He brought it. Oh,
He brought it, man. The crowd's really digging this trailer.
Oh, I dig it. So, coming in, I've been hyping up Aquaman. This is the movie that so much is riding on it for DC. Because if this movie flops and bombs, Warner Brothers ain't going to be moving forward with a bunch of their stuff. I mean, they have stuff already in pre-production, but if this movie knocks it out of the park, there's no way they're not going to be like, okay, let's continue on with this universe. This is like the pivot movie. This thing can change the whole franchise around. So they had to come in, and this is the first trailer we're getting. It's only 5 months out. They had to knock it out of the water. This thing couldn't have sank. It had to have been a hit, and I'm blown away. This is reading Aquaman for like the last, how many years I've read it? 5 years, so not that long. It just feels like an Aquaman comic brought to life. And some of the images that we see in the trailer are literally ripped from like the covers or ripped from the screen. It's a beautiful trailer. I would have loved it regardless because I love DC and I'm a bit of a fanboy. But Troy, coming in to this trailer before you saw it, okay, what was your anticipation level for Aquaman? We haven't seen a lot. So what was your anticipation before? What did you think, and what is it at? What is it now?
Well, yeah, you guys go back a couple episodes. I wasn't down at all. I was kind of just Aquaman'd out.
Yeah.
Before you even got in. My face went all weird there. Never mind what I said there. But I gotta say, this trailer is pretty cool, man. Like, I made the mistake of watching it on my phone at first.
Yeah.
And I don't know, my Wi-Fi was bugging, so I saw it in like 144p. It was pretty crappy. I've watched it at home on the big screen, with the bigger screen. It's pretty cool, man. I have little issues, but for the most part, it's cool. There's action sequences when Jason Momoa Aquaman crushes the sword and then punches it down. Like,
oh my goodness,
that's cool. Black Manta looks dope. He is gonna kill it in this movie.
That costume,
because on paper, like in the comic, it works. But then if you're gonna translate that into the movies, it's like translating Wolverine's yellow costume. You're like, that's gonna look ridiculous.
Yeah,
but it looks really cool.
Oh yeah,
really cool.
I think they've shown, like Deadpool has shown, embrace the colorful costumes.
Yeah.
I mean, I know this is just like an all black costume, but like it is a colorful, like different costume.
And the headpiece is just absolutely absurd. But the fact that they can pull it off here just works for me so well. Yeah. So the action sequences look fantastic. It's pretty cool. The cast across the board is dope. Like I'm feeling that. The underwater stuff looks so cool. The world looks great. It looks like Naboo on steroids, but at least underneath Naboo. But my only thing is, the water doesn't look right, and I think I'm not too worried because it might just not be finished yet. This movie still has some time.
Yeah.
But like the bubbles aren't lining up enough. Like I don't feel like they're wet underwater, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But I do like the moments we get that are like Wakanda-like, where they're cheering.
Yeah.
You know, it's right from Wakanda, that kind of stuff. Even though this isn't a Marvel movie by any means. We got the brother rivalry going on with Ocean Master.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's gonna be cool. He has a great shot here with the cape kind of going in the water.
I dig it because like. Okay, Justice League, you had to like go in like the land or like the bubbles.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's kind of like, you know, you watch The Little Mermaid, and there's no like bubbles there. They just talk, and you can hear it. Like I'd rather them do that. And you know what? We're talking about a movie where there's the city of Atlantis under ocean. Just embrace it. Like I know it's not realistic that they can talk, but who cares? You know what I mean?
Yeah. For me, it's not even the talking. It's just like the motion of things. I don't feel like when I'm watching it without any sound, it doesn't feel like they're underwater except when things hit and collide. Yeah. So that's my only thing. I can totally see past the dialogue and all that kind of stuff. All around, I think it's just it's just not completely done yet. So I'm really not too worried. But on a grand scale of things, this looks pretty cool. I will be seeing this now.
Yeah,
for sure. Jason,
you didn't have it. You didn't have a choice. I was bringing you regardless. I need this in my box office run, and I need this for my DC love.
You're not going for Mary Poppins?
Oh, Mary Poppins is going down, y'all. But
the scale of these monster waters.
The trench guys. Yeah.
Monsters look pretty cool too.
Oh my goodness. I mean, just everything about this screams epic to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this, James Wan could have played it safe. He's saying, you know what? I'm going for that gold ring. I'm going for the gold. Let's just bring it. And everything here, you know, just screams epic.
For sure. What do you think of the logo, the title card for this whole trailer? Does it feel kind of misplaced, like the color scheme of everything, with it being like white and crisp and futuristic?
Yeah.
Does that work for you or what?
You know, it could be something to do with like Atlantis.
Okay.
Because like I know when they originally put it out, it was more like the traditional like gold and green.
Exactly.
So this title card, I'm a little bit, I think it's like orange colors maybe.
Right.
So I'd have to see how it plays out in the movie. I do kind of like the white, but the symbol, I prefer the traditional one.
100% agree. What do you think of them hopping out in the desert towards the end of the trailer?
You know, so that part is kind of like, what the heck are they doing?
Right.
But the Jeff Johns run, you know, there's a run where he is joined by the Aquaman and the others.
Okay.
And so he jumps out of the plane and lands into the desert.
Okay.
So I'm thinking like Mira can control water. So I'm thinking maybe she does something with the water that like cushions their fall, because you're like, why are they just jumping out of the plane without a parachute? So I don't know what's going on here. At first watch, I was like, what? This doesn't make any sense.
Right.
But you know, we have to see the context, I guess. What are your thoughts on that?
It's interesting. Like, I mean, it'd be crazy if it was like a dried up Atlantis, which I doubt, because we'd see more things than that. But it's interesting. It's kind of always cool to take a character out of their element, right? It's cool to take Spider-Man out of the big city and throw him in a field. You know, it's cool to put Aquaman in a desert. It's cool to put Batman in the sunlight. You know, things like that are kind of neat to see at times. So I'm down. Yeah,
I mean, I have really high hopes for this movie. I think it's going to crush it. The villains are going to be amazing, I think. You know, you got Ocean Master. We talked about him. He looks really cool, and, you know, we haven't even seen his full costume, his comic book costume, because he's just in like a couple of battle armor.
Yep.
But he has like the helmet. He's got the purple costume on. So that's going to be really cool. You know, I'm really excited for this franchise. I hope they don't kill any of the villains, because they definitely have like Black Manta, Ocean Master. You could put him in Legion of Doom. That's been teased. You could put him in Suicide Squad 2. Easily, that raises the level of anticipation for Suicide Squad 2 if you throw in that. Or even like Justice League 2. You know, I think DC still isn't going to give up on the Justice League concept. The first one, you know, may not have gone as well as they would have wanted. But teasing this Legion of Doom and teasing the cast, I mean, you can't tell me the anticipation wouldn't be insane if you have this movie. We have Luthor, Deathstroke, Black Manta, Cheetah, Black Adam, and then you throw in the same cast from Justice League, but then you throw in Shazam now.
Sounds pretty good.
Right? I mean, I'm talking like, say Aquaman and Shazam hit. So you got a Man of Steel, you got a pretty good Superman movie. In my opinion, the best Superman movie.
Superman, oh yeah.
I love it. You got Batman v Superman, which some people were lukewarm on, but a lot of people like Batman.
Yes.
Then you got Wonder Woman, which was such a huge hit. So Aquaman hits, Shazam hits. That's 5 heroes out of the 8 that have had have been in movies that have hit. So you just need a Flash solo movie, which I know is coming. You'd have to think it's coming. Cyborg, I would love him to get his own solo film. But he could always be like the Hawkeye, where he doesn't have his own solo film, but he just shows up.
Yeah.
I think Cyborg, maybe if they decide to do a Teen Titans movie, maybe take him off the Justice League and have him be like the Batman of the Teen Titans.
For sure.
Where he's like, okay, I fought with the Justice League. I'm going to train you guys now.
He's babysitting.
Right?
Right.
Like, that would be cool. Like, Cyborg is such a cool character. I loved him in the Justice League Jeff John run.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to see a Cyborg solo film. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Do you think anyone will appear in the Aquaman movie?
Like from
that's
the
in the
shared
Justice
universe?
League or anything like that?
If anyone would do it, I think the one that would make the most sense, I'm trying to think, like, I did like how they did in Suicide Squad with Flash just showing up, taking out Captain Boomerang, and then, like, done. I really like that. Like, just something, like, small like that. I'm trying to think who they would do it with. I don't think it will be Superman.
Wonder Woman? That makes kind of a lot of sense,
That'd be really cool, yeah. Definitely, like, just have her show up and just, like, one scene, like, maybe at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because, like, this takes place the day after Justice League or a couple days after Justice League. So, I don't know. Like, I'm just super excited that this shared universe is filling out. It's going to be really cool, and I love the connectivity that we're getting, I would love to see Wonder Woman show up. What she would do, I don't know. Maybe she introduces herself, and, that'd be cool if there's, like, Atlanteans and Amazons meet.
One day. I'm sure we'll see it on the big screen. As long as these movies are executed fairly well, I'm sure one day we'll see that happen. That'd be just incredible.
So, just basing this off the trailer, do you think this is going to be a hit? Like, did you think the trailer did enough for general audiences that this thing is going to, you feel confident that, I feel like Aquaman is going to beat 250 million domestically?
I don't, you know why? Because it's Comic-Con right now, and Comic-Con is geared towards us. So we're going to get excited for it. I don't know if the general audience, I sound like a broken record, the general audience, but I don't know if this was enough for them to really hop on board. And I'm nervous about Mary Poppins being where it's going to be in December. So that's going to be interesting. I'm tempted to see I'm curious to see what the reaction is going to be like for the Mary Poppins trailer. How people are going to receive that, because that movie's old. Like, the sequel to that, it's crazy. But there is obviously appreciation for Mary Poppins. She's classic, right? So I just don't know if this was enough. But for the most part, though, it seems like the general audience, or not the general audience, the general fan base of the property like what they see. If you're an Aquaman fan, you like this trailer most likely.
Absolutely. And, the thing that gives me hope is December is such a big movie month. You go back to last year, Star Wars made how much million? 600 million? Domestically?
Yeah, domestically, yes.
Yeah. Jumanji made 400 million.
Jumanji killed it.
So that's $1 billion between two movies. So we have Mary Poppins, Bumblebee, Aquaman, and Alita, I think.
Alita Battle Angel?
Yeah. So between the four of them, could those four split $1 billion? I could see it. I'm
not sure about that Battle Angel movie. I don't know.
I think that might come in fourth place. It's going to be a race. It's exciting. Like,
you think it could do Ghost in the Shell numbers, though? As in, like, no numbers?
It could.
Same kind of fan base.
Yeah, it could easily do it. That's the thing. We won't know. And I think the cool thing is it's forcing these movies to go for it. Yeah. They can't play it safe. They got to be something different. And Aquaman is something different. And I think, come Christmas time, people are going to be like, okay, what do you want to see?
I say Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Go see it. It's on my list.
I will be checking that one out, too.
Looks pretty cool.
That does look pretty cool. Did we get anything from that?
We got a little bit of footage. There was a pretty cool image I saw out there on Twitter where we got a really good look at Miles, Spider-Gwen, and a seasoned Peter Parker.
That's right. Yeah. You and Tim.
Are you Spider-Gwen then? Is that what you're saying?
I guess I'm Spider-Gwen. That's my Halloween costume. How did you know?
Oh man, no, that image did look good. I'm feeling pretty confident about that movie, and I'm rooting for you. I am rooting for you for this Aquaman.
People say, like, just reboot. It takes a long time to reboot, and for audiences to, like, forget and forgive.
I don't know. Spider-Man would beg to differ, though, right? Like, look at that. Like, Spider-Man came out 2014, Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You saw him in the MCU by 2016.
But if you look at like the numbers, the Spider-Man numbers, didn't do as well as the Sam Raimi ones.
It didn't, but the superhero genre has changed, and this Spider-Man movie was received well above the Amazing Spider-Man whole stuff, right? And more so than Spider-Man 3. So it's on the right track. It's doing the right thing. Mm-hmm. And I think Spider-Man's back to where he needs to be. Granted, it's different because Spider-Man's like, he's huge. He's already established. Whereas Aquaman isn't. Some of the DC characters aren't. But for me, I'm always on the side of rebooting in this case because I love DC so much. If it's up to me, I like what they're doing with this world of DC, if that's the case. But if they're to say we're rebooting tomorrow and we're starting with Superman or we're starting with Wonder Woman, I'd totally be down. I'd be a little hurt about Gal Gadot because she's doing everything right. Mm-hmm. So is Henry Cavill. But it's the whole franchise itself isn't. So if they came and said, this is what we're doing, with a set game plan, we have a studio lined up, and this is what's going to happen, I would be super excited. That'd probably be the most exciting news in my opinion.
I think Aquaman's going to change a lot of opinions because Wonder Woman did so much for that franchise. For this franchise, if Wonder Woman doesn't break out, they probably are rebooting. Let's be honest with you.
Well, because that's the scary thing, right? Because not Aquaman, Wonder Woman did so well, and then the follow-up was Justice League, and it didn't.
I think we're seeing now that audiences have evolved where they're not going to sit through a subpar movie. Yeah, the hype just wasn't there. I did like Justice League, but I understand why a lot of people didn't.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah. And I feel like the audiences are too smart now where you can't just slap a name on and people will see it because of the name. Yeah. There's so much out there. There's so much competition nowadays that even Ant-Man and the Wasp, you look at it, I think it's like 165 million right now. Wow. That's quite low for an MCU film, and it's the second lowest grossing right now. Like, I took it sixth overall.
Right.
So, thinking that there'd be an Avengers bump that it would clear 200 mil easily, I don't think so anymore. And you could go back and listen to our review where me and you were both just like kind of lukewarm on it. So I think audiences have evolved to the point where they've seen everything, comic book wise, that we have to and we always have to keep evolving the genre, keep evolving the movies. And that's why I'm so excited for Aquaman, because we haven't seen a movie completely set underwater, since The Little Mermaid, which was an animated film.
For sure. And I think what we also have to keep in mind is people have to really pick and choose when they go to the movies, because movies aren't cheap. Yeah. And if you think about it, if you went and spent your money on Wonder Woman and you had a blast, but then Justice League's coming out and I'm kind of on the fence about it, I'm going to wait for Black Panther because I've been more anticipating that, because people really do pick and choose what theaters they want to go to. Not theaters, but when they can go to the theater. Yeah. So I think like a Black Panther, I keep saying Aquaman, and Wonder Woman, and an Infinity War, that's like I must have. Deadpool 1 was great. I'm going to go see it. Ant-Man was okay. I'm going to pass. You know what I mean? There's things like that. That kind of work in its favor or not. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting about Aquaman, because that December release date it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, it's going to be busy, but a lot of people are off work. Yep. It's a fun time. People always go to movies around that time. Yep. I was thinking they should push it up a week. Get a week ahead of everything, and and then come back, but then maybe that would hurt it too, because the second week would have a big drop. So I don't know. It's going to be a fun time. I know I'm going to see Aquaman probably 2-3 times that weekend.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm
see really, a million.
Yeah. But we're talking about movies evolving the genre, evolving superheroes. Shazam, another superhero film from DC, and I think this one did the most in order to sway people into thinking, wow, this movie, I heard about it and I was kind of like, yeah, I'll pass. And then I saw this trailer and everyone was blown away.
Yeah, I was on board. This is the trailer for me. I saw Aquaman first. Like I said, I saw it on my phone. I was like, whatever. I saw this next on my phone, though, and I was on board. I was down. It felt like, it's not like Deadpool, but I had that same kind of energy about it. Just the comic relief. The kids being a superhero, I think we would all act that same way. Right. Billy Batson. So I really like what they did here. It seems like it's borrowing a little bit from the New 52 line, a little bit. Yeah. But making it a little less asshole. Because I guess Billy in the New 52 is a little darker slightly.
A little bit of a jerk.
But here he's more like a realistic kid.
Yeah.
Growing up in these times.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, he's a 14-year-old kid who has been through how many orphanages.
Yeah.
Of course, he's gonna be a little bit jaded.
Right.
But the scene where he saves his brother. First off, what kind of bullies beat up a kid who's an orphan and is disabled?
It's brutal.
Like,
that's horrible.
I was watching it, I was like, man. And then when he hit him with the cane, normally I'm like, oh. But in this one, I was like, yeah, get him again.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Keep going.
Who are these jerks?
Right?
Right?
Definitely.
But, man, this trailer, David Sandberg, the director, he brought it. Like, this ripped out of the pages again. Like, you look at all those, all those chairs set up in the background where he meets the wizard.
Yes.
I'm not the biggest Shazam reader. Like, there's not even like a series right now going on.
No.
So he's kind of like he was a character that was bigger than Superman back in the day, but he's kind of went away. DC, doesn't know what to do with him, and maybe this movie will spur like a movement, kind of like I'm thinking like Guardians, where like they were kind of like in the background, but once the movie hit and it was huge, now they're like one of the biggest sellers at Marvel,
right? Or even like Iron Man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I would love to see Captain Marvel back in the fold, and as I said, I would love to see him in Justice League.
For sure, I think Justice League could totally use a member like this with his charisma. I think is it Levi?
Zachary Levi. Yeah,
I love what he's doing here. Mm-hmm. The costume for me is the only thing that's still kind of weird because it doesn't look like that's his body. It looks kind of like very padded.
Yeah.
But apart from that, it works for me because I'm just having fun with this the whole time. I love when he goes into the convenience store and stops crime. Yeah. I love when he's trying to fly. That looks so good. It's so well done when he drops back down. It's just it looks like a lot of fun, and that's okay to say. It doesn't have to be more than that. This looks fun.
Do you know what vibe? Do you know what vibes I'm getting from this? Is Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, the first two.
Yeah.
Where it's just like Peter Parker's learning how to use his powers. Even in that one, he says Shazam. Remember, Peter Parker's trying to...
When he's using the web.
Yeah.
Up and away.
Yeah.
Shazam.
Right?
Spider-Go or something like that. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm definitely... I feel like this one here could be a game changer.
I think so.
I've yet to see like how it plays out, but, where you talk about kids' wish fulfillment, this is a movie, every superhero film, even Spider-Man, he was... a teenager, but he's not like a 14-year-old boy.
Right.
This is a legit... He's 14 years old, and he turns into someone with the powers of Superman.
Yeah.
Right? Like, as a kid growing up, who wouldn't want that? Like, I know every time I watch Superman, I was like, damn, I wish I was like Superman.
For sure.
Right?
For sure. No, it's great. I think this is the right tone that DC needs to. For sure, because it's not so dark, but I feel like I mentioned to you before, I feel like we still will get some dark elements.
Yeah.
Him being an orphan too, we'll get something on his past, which is going to be just great. When does this come out again?
April, I think.
Yeah, so I'm totally on board, man. This for me was one of my favorites coming out of Comic-Con, I can say.
Absolutely. I think this one did a lot to change opinions, and as you said, like the tone, Shazam definitely is like a lighter tone character. Yeah. So they couldn't have gone like dark with him. You couldn't have like Zack Snyder directing this movie.
No.
Zack Snyder is more like the darker characters.
For sure.
Even Superman, like his Man of Steel was perfect in my opinion.
Love what they did. It's a modern tale telling of the character Superman.
But like I don't think like he would have been a fit. David Sandberg is a perfect fit for this guy. Yeah. And I'm excited. And the cool thing is exciting for these movies is I'm excited to see what comes next. Like, these are the first ones, the origin stories. A lot of times, the second one are always the better one. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but I can totally see, I'm going to call it now. We're going to get sequels for Aquaman and Shazam. I'm calling it now.
That's bold.
I'm saying, they're going to come, I'm thinking after Shazam, Birds of Prey, or Wonder Woman 84 is coming out. We didn't see anything from there. From what I heard, people were pretty hyped on it. They said very like Linda Carter tone for Wonder Woman 84, and then after that, you got Birds of Prey, and I'm thinking, after that. So let's pick the next 3 movies after Birds of Prey.
So DC. Just to be clear, you think Aquaman will get a sequel before Man of Steel and before even Batman gets a movie?
Yeah. Because I think it's going to be that big of a hit that WB is going to fast track it.
That's going to be interesting because do you know what the budget is for Aquaman?
$160.
Oh, see, so it's pretty big and it can't be cheap, obviously, to do that underwater world.
Yeah, so $160, and so you add in marketing. So, I think if it clears $400-500 mil.
Yeah, because when it's all said and done, it's probably with marketing it's like double, so it's probably like three
something.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, then you got to factor in other stuff too, like merchandise, and I mean, just and ticket sales and stuff. I think
it's gonna be crazy.
I think it's gonna be like that big of a hit. You know, maybe I'm overselling it, but I could easily see Aquaman and Shazam outgrossing Justice League.
I could see. I don't know. I mean, maybe overseas they'll do pretty well. Aquaman. It might have that overseas appeal.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So okay, so we got these 8. These, and then Wonder Woman, and then Birds of Prey apparently is going to start shooting. There's already been like a news article that they got some sort of tax credit already for Birds of Prey, so that's coming up. So then after Birds of Prey, not what do you want, but what do you think the next 3 DC movies are going to be?
After Birds of Prey?
Yeah.
Birds of Prey's what year? Do you know? We don't know yet.
I think 2020.
We have to have Batman.
Yeah.
We absolutely have to have a Batman film in there. We could possibly have a Wonder Woman 3.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we could have a Wonder Woman 3. Another DC film. Flash.
Yeah.
Flash needs to be in there.
I agree. I think Flash comes after Birds of Prey. I think, we're talking about Justice League 2. That's kind of, the end game, building up this Legion of Doom. And I think if they do it right, I think that you will see that Avengers type bump with the Justice League 2. I think people will be like, okay, I didn't get number 1, but this is a completely different story. Aquaman I liked, Shazam I liked Wonder Woman. Flash comes out, people like that.
And especially if they can match this tone of Shazam.
I think Flash needs this tone, yeah.
And the Flash, it needs that tone.
I agree. So I think Flash will come out. I'm going to go Green Lantern Corps.
Oh, of course. How could I forget about Green Lantern?
Yeah.
And we're also forgetting what Teen Titans Go, the movie, can also do for bumping up these superheroes, right? Because they're playing off a lot of stuff there.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of Green Lantern, right? There's some funny stuff in the trailer going back and forth. So that could probably help it out a little bit.
Yeah, I think Green Lantern Corps, because then you throw and say Green Lantern versus Sinestro.
Yeah.
Then you throw Sinestro in the Legion of Doom, and then Green Lantern shows up. I mean, you talk about like a team movie. How amazing would it be to see the Justice League 6 members, and then you throw in Shazam and Green Lantern?
Right.
Like you're talking about like a powerful team. Like I just want to see a movie. They don't even have to fight anybody. Just have them standing at the Watchtower, or the Hall of Justice. I think that's where they're going with Bruce Wayne's old mansion. Yeah, with the chairs.
I think you could do that. And I think with the members though, because it's a lot. I think you could probably kick out Cyborg. To be honest, and put in like a Jon Stewart or a Hal Jordan.
I think you could do that if he shows up again in Teen Titans. Like,
yes.
He's such a cool character. I never read the character, but until he was in Jeff Johns' Justice League run. And I think, they play off the young angle. Him and Shazam playing off one another could be gold.
That could be pretty cool.
It could be like a really cool dynamic where those two are like younger and they're kind of... they're playing video games or they're hanging out, and then you have like Batman like working strategy with Wonder Woman, and then in the background they're playing like, I don't know, what's the video game kids play these days? They're playing
Fortnite.
Mario Kart. Yeah, they're playing Fortnite.
Of course, it'd be Fortnite. I think it'd be kind of cool too to see Cyborg in the Teen Titans leading, being like he's been appointed to lead.
Yeah.
But Robin feels more worthy than he should be because Robin's been under the bat.
Yeah.
So Robin's like, no, I should be leading this team. So they could be butting heads, but he's like, no, well, I've been chosen as a leader. I would like to see that dynamic between the two.
I would love to see a Teen Titans movie, but do you think they're gonna do it now that we have the Titans TV show?
I think it doesn't hurt because we've had like the Flash. We've had all these TV shows go on still, Gotham and whatnot. It still doesn't stop them from putting out stuff because they're pretty divided, even though it all comes under the same brand.
Yeah.
So I still think, but it's tough to say with that Teen Titans one because that one's tricky. I think we probably won't get a Teen Titans movie, but we'll get a Robin or a Nightwing standalone.
Oh,
movie,
that would be cool.
For sure.
Would you like to see him in the Justice League? They call up Nightwing and they're like, yo, come up to the bigs.
No, I wouldn't want to see Nightwing there. If this was like a younger Batman, I would have liked to kind of seen like Robin in the background and then like, oh, you got yourself a sidekick. Kind of like what they did in Justice League Frontier, the animated one.
Yeah.
When there was like a time jump when Batman was riding solo and then Superman visited him and he saw Robin in the background and he's like, hey, I see you got yourself a sidekick.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool to see. But with the timelines and whatnot, I guess you could see a Damian Wayne.
That'd
like,
be cool.
Who's this kid?
Yeah.
I have a son.
Yeah.
Really? You could maybe pull that off.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, it would be cool. There's a lot of characters like they did in the show that I would love to see movies again, like Supergirl.
Yeah.
I would love to see a Supergirl movie with like a big budget, like Man of Steel. But
she exists though. That's the crazy thing. She
Yeah.
exists in the Man of Steel because they had that comic book tie-in.
That's right.
And they've never gone back on it.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they'll bring it up. I mean, remember before Wonder Woman or Batman v Superman came out, everyone was saying that Amazons were just descendants of Kryptonians.
And I love that idea.
Really?
I thought that was so cool.
No, I didn't like that.
I thought it was so cool because she's been there for like thousands of years.
Yeah.
Her pod is landed. So in this comic book, you go back how many years? It's like 2,000 years.
Yeah.
Before on Krypton, and Kal-El's cousin, Kira.
Yeah.
Right. Crash lands on Earth, and she goes to Earth with a bunch of scientists. They die, but her pod is still left there, and that's the pod that you see that's opened in Man of Steel, but nobody knows what happened to her.
Right.
So the rumor was that she's been on Earth for countless amount of years, and she is basically the first Amazonian in a sense. I thought that idea was awesome. I thought that was so cool. If you're gonna change it up,
yeah,
yeah,
if you had to, but I like the way they went with the gods and so I like that. And something we didn't talk about in Aquaman, I think we will get like that history lesson that we got in Wonder Woman, that we got in Justice League. We got a little bit of Man of Steel. I like that DC's carrying that like theme forward. I don't, maybe we'll get something like that in Shazam. That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be dope.
Yeah. I'd love to get, the one thing I would really love to get would be a Green Arrow movie.
Yeah, because there's that rumored movie from way back, Supermax.
Right.
How cool would it be if it was Comic-Con? And they did a great job, DC.
Yeah.
Not taking anything away, but if you blew our minds with something that we had no idea was coming, and that was Green Arrow's Supermax, where he has to break out of this prison. And it's a one-man show against all these people that he's put in that prison.
Oh, man.
Man, that'd be nuts.
Oh, or even if they came up, like, because Birds of Prey's coming out, and Black Canary is going to be one of the members.
Right.
You can't have Black Canary without Green Arrow.
Yep.
It's like having Lois Lane without Superman. Like, those two are like one of the best DC couples. And I don't watch the Arrow show, so I don't know if they're a couple in that
There's
show.
There's like 2 or 3 different Black Canaries and a White Canary. And it's all over the place.
It's all over. Yeah. But like Green Arrow is just such a cool character. I would love to see, what's the guy's name? Charlie Hunnam from
Sons of Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy and King Arthur.
Yeah, I'm not much of a fan of his. I think he's good at Sons of Anarchy, but when I saw him in Pacific Rim and King Arthur, I don't feel like he can lead a film like he should. I feel like Stephen Amell, I guess it's TV, but he's better as Green Arrow on TV than he could be in a movie. But I don't know what cast as a Oliver Queen yet on the big screen. But you're down with Charlie, eh?
I think Charlie would be great. And you know what? Like, we're talking about like end games here, kind of, or like where DC's going with all this. How cool would it be, talking about worlds of DC, if they bring in, the Anti-Monitor like 10 years down the road, and you have all these DC heroes, all these DC villains teaming up, but then because of the multiverse, you pluck in the TV people. So you bring in the guys from Flash, you bring in the guys from Smallville, you bring in Michael Keaton's Batman, you bring in Linda Carter's Wonder Woman, you bring in all these different versions of all these characters throughout the entire history of DC and have them going up against the Anti-Monitor. Like, that is DC's Infinity War. That's what they got to build. Like, I don't know if they'll ever do it because it's ambitious, but I never thought I would see a day where Thanos would have the Infinity Stone gauntlet and he would snap his fingers. So never say never, because we're living in exciting times for comic book movies.
Well, I wouldn't say never, but I think now that the door's been opened with the DC streaming device, I think that would be the platform to do it, because this way you're not asking the general audience to come now and watch that. You have all the fanboys that are already subscribe to this device that are going to tune in, but to ask everybody else to be like, watch this, like everything from Wonder Woman's Linda Carter to Smallville, and then come pay $11 and watch this film, people are gonna be like, what is going on? Even though like general audience is way smarter, or at least like they've always been, but we're more trained now to how to watch these films. But I think it'd be suited better on this streaming device, because then you don't really have to connect it to the theater. So next time you see Man of Steel 5, you wouldn't have to be like, well, what happened over here on the streaming device? If you're like a crazy fanboy, then but if you don't, it's all good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But oh man, I'm always up for that kind of stuff.
So many possibilities. That's what I love about the streaming device. It's like you can take chances and make shows that you never thought, like a Harley Quinn animated series. I never thought we'd get that.
Yeah, no, it's groundbreaking, man. I can't wait to see what they do. For me, the biggest things, I guess we'll kind of wrap it up here with our highest content of Comic-Con stuff.
Okay.
What we like the most. For me, I'm going to go, the Hot Toy stuff, obviously.
Yeah.
I love what we saw there. I really love this whole comics aspect on your 4K TV.
That sounds amazing.
Brought to you by this DC streaming device. That's a game changer. I think that's massive. DC, we talked about this before, is also doing the whole Walmart exclusives. Yeah. Again, that's another way to get people's butts in comic book stores. I think that's great. We need more of that kind of stuff. And as well, the Clone Wars, man. I love the Clone Wars. I can't go on enough about it, but that's been the biggest thing for me. And
nice, man, nice. Well, if I had to pick, definitely the Aquaman and Shazam trailers.
Yep.
For once, people are talking positively about DC. It's nice to see, and I think general audiences are going to be really pumped, and I think these movies are going to crush it. I think these both movies. As I said, I think we're going to get sequels to these movies, and I think we're ushering in a new era. Maybe I'm always like the optimistic guy, but I like, how could you root against these movies? Look at Zachary Levi, look at Jason Momoa, look at how much fun they're having.
They are.
They're doing so well in their roles. Like, maybe they're not the best actors in the world, but like, they're not terrible actors. I think, they're really good actors, and they're really good at the roles that they're being put in.
Yep.
Zachary Levi, he is Shazam now. Like, he looks so much like he's playing that character so well. Like, people said, big meets Superman.
Right.
So I really like that. And Jason Momoa is Aquaman. Like, just the amount of fun he's having. I can't see anyone else being Aquaman now.
No, I hear you, man. I hear you. No, it looks good. I'm excited, man. We live in exciting times. And, man, like the words of my boy, John Schnepp, the late, great John Schnepp, what a time we live in. I can't wait to see more of this stuff. We're talking all these heroes. We lost one, unfortunately, on Thursday.
Yeah. Well said. And, thank you guys for listening to our episode. As we always say, write in, let us know your thoughts on this episode. Be like Grabs, and you could get your own theme song as well. That T-Bone's going to be dropping next week, so look out for that. He's already committed. He just texted me now. He's saying he's working. He's in the lab with Dre, just collaborating on those beats by T-Bone. But honestly, like, this was so much fun. Troy, had a lot of fun discussing DC.
Man. Always.
And I think the next movie, we didn't even discuss Venom. We didn't see any footage, but a lot of people were saying is pretty pumped on the Venom footage they were seeing. And that's another movie I have in the superhero or in the comic or in the movie box office race.
You need that one.
Yeah. And before we go, one thing I forgot to mention, me and you were talking before about John Schnepp and just the impact that he had. And what we're going to introduce is every year at the end of the year, we're going to do the John Schnepp Memorial Sweatiest Movie of the Year. So we're going to ask viewers to write in their top 3. We're going to put in our top 3. And this is strictly just nerd movies. So Star Wars, Star Trek, Marvel, DC. Give us your top 3. We'll tally up the votes. Weight it. First gets the most, points and whatever. And then we'll present, the Sweatiest Movie of the Year and just have an annual thing. Just a way to keep John Schnepp, in our thoughts and, some of the stuff, unfortunately some of the movies that he'll never get to see. But, he was kind of waving that geek flag in Hollywood, and it's just a way to honor a great sweaty that came before us, and one that left his mark in Sweaty Kingdom and a Nerd Kingdom. And, we're forever thankful for what he did, like the hours of entertainment for free that he provided us. And, he'll always be, in our thoughts. And, it's he was the king of the sweaties, and he would have been there at San Diego geeking out with us after. So,
oh man, his presence was definitely there at Comic-Con. I saw everything there, and he's the king of sweaties, king of fandom, king of comics, and all around king of humanity. He's just a great person all around. It's funny going with Superman. I loved Man of Steel, and it was 2013 when I was just YouTubing stuff. Like, I gotta find reviews, and that's when I first came across John Schnepp.
Right,
John Schnepp, John Campea, and maybe Clark Wolf, I think.
Yeah.
And they were reviewing Superman, Man of Steel, and I was like, this is so cool, like this content and what these guys are talking about. And this guy knows this stuff about Superman. And to this day, I obviously love that film, but 2013, I think it aired 2012, but I've been watching John Schnepp since 2013. He's been a voice in my house ever since, and so much love and respect for that man of what he's done. He's in all of us, man. He's just such a great person. His presence will be missed, but we got to keep him alive in in media and everything out there, because he's just such a huge factor. He's such a big deal, and it's tough times, and all the best out there for the family and his fiance out there, Holly. Man, go out there and check out John Schnepp. If you've not seen any of his stuff, just Google him, YouTube him. He is great. He's one of us, but he's on another level. He's like between fandom and like the big man up there, right?
Yeah.
It's just an all-around great person. I felt so good a couple times when he's even liked a comment I've tweeted to him. You know, he answered one of my questions back on Collider, and man, he's gonna be missed. He's gonna be missed. He's just such a big figure.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, wrapping it up. This was the Nerd Room. This is Troy signing off.
It's a lot less structured than we normally are. Tim is kind of like the glue that keeps us on track.
For sure.
We kind of went all over the place, but it was fun. And from the Nerd Room, I'm Sunjay.
There it is. There it is, guys. And we are out.
This has been a Nerd Room podcast production. You can find our hosts Tim, Troy, and Sunjay on Twitter at TheNerdRM, TroyTheBoy87, and Sunjabby. For more content from the Nerd Room, check out thenerdroom.net. And don't forget to subscribe to the Nerd Room on iTunes, Podbean, and YouTube. Be sure to head over to StarWarsCommonwealth.com to find more podcasts in the Star Wars Commonwealth Podcast Network, including Talk Star Wars, Tumbling Saber, Generation X-Wing, Rogue Squadron Podcast, Skyros Podcast, and San Diego Sabers. Follow the Star Wars Commonwealth on Twitter at SW Commonwealth and take your first steps into a larger world.